Hey everybody, Jonathan Cummings here from The Troubadour's Journey. What's new and exciting? Today, we are going to look at something that a lot of people are interested in, a lot of people are wondering about, and that is the law of attraction. What is it? How does it work? Why is it not working? Hopefully, I'm going to dispel some myths here and give you some distinctions on how you can use this in your life to take yourself to the next part of your journey. If you want to learn about that, we're going to start that right here. I'll see you right back here in 15 seconds.
Your song's telling you just sing with me.
So the law of attraction, I've seen a lot of videos on the law of attraction, and a lot of them are not really clear, or they don't really explain it properly. Now, right off the bat, before you watch this video, if you haven't seen that video on manifestation from beginning to end, make an investment in yourself and go watch this 20-minute video. Stop this video, watch that 20-minute video, and then come right back here. I'll wait for you. That was stupid. I don't even have a watch on. So after we fertilize the soil of our mind, which I'm actually going to talk about how to do that on the next video, and then once we actually plant that seed, and remember what that looks like, it is an emotional feeling of absolution when we make a decision to do something that's planting the seed in that soil. So while we're going about the process of watering it and planting it and then harvesting it and reaping the rewards from it, we need to be exercising what I call the universal attribute of vibration. This is what a lot of people call the law of attraction. Even the great Bob Proctor has said on more than one occasion that the law of attraction is a secondary law to the law of vibration. I actually take it a step further and say it's not even really a law, if you really want to think of it this way. A lot of people say, well, it's like the law of gravity, right? If you drop something, it falls to the ground. That's the law of gravity, right? Gravity is not a law, okay? The law of gravity is all the man-made writing down equations and mathematical computations that we humans use to explain what gravity actually is. That's the law of gravity. Gravity is gravity. It's a universal constant. It's a universal attribute. We might have a law to explain what it is, but you can't break it, right? If there's a speeding law down the street and you break it, a cop will give you a ticket. Why are you giving me a ticket? Because you broke the law. You can't break gravity. Laws can be broken. Gravity can't be broken. It is a universal attribute. Now, I know you might be thinking, well, this is just semantics. It is very important the way that we talk about things in our own mind, and the way that we picture things in our own mind, and the way that we categorize and call things in our own mind. Gravity is a universal constant. The law of attraction is really the universal attribute of vibration. So how does it work? Well, let me explain how it works in the real world. I have a glass here, and if I click the glass, it vibrates to a certain frequency. Okay? Now this frequency, if you look at it on a piano or something, I think it's somewhere around a B flat, right? So now, I'm not going to touch the glass. Oops, I touched the microphone. Let me try that again. It's not vibrating. I'm not going to touch the glass. Now, why is the glass vibrating when nothing visible is touching it? Nothing visible touched it. And yet it is vibrating to the same frequency that my vocal cords are vibrating to. Why is that happening? Well, if you're a physicist, or if you know anything about sound waves, you probably know why that's happening. But watch this. Ba, ba. Why is now it not vibrating? Because I am not vibrating to the same frequency that the glass naturally vibrates to. Okay? Now just hang on with me in here. This is vitally important, because we have to vibrate at the frequency of that which it is we're trying to attract. I'm broke, I never have any money. See, if this glass is money, it's not responding. I can picture myself having $1 million and being a millionaire. There it goes. Bah. Bah. Boy, I'm really angry today. I hate everybody. Wow, I'm in a loving mood today and everybody looks so wonderful. Okay, now, I know this might be a crude example, but the way that that works in the real world is exactly the way that the universal attribute of vibration works in the quantum world. Now, I want you to think about this for a moment. People always talk about thinking, right? Well, you need to think and grow rich. You need to think, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Okay, time out. Time out. It doesn't say as a man thinketh in his head, so is he. It says as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. This is about emotional vibrations that we put off into the universe. Now, I know this may sound like foo-foo magic or something, but, to somebody living 100 years ago, if I showed them the glass thing, they wouldn't understand why that glass is vibrating. How does the universal attribute of vibration work in the quantum world? I have no idea. I don't know how my car works, but I still use it to drive from point A to point B to point C. If something breaks down in it, I have to take it to a mechanic because I don't know how the thing works. Quantum physics don't even know how the quantum world works. They just know that it does. They haven't figured it out yet. They can sit there in a lab and watch quantum particles or quantum wavicles or quantum bundles of possibility or whatever they're calling it this day, do all of these amazing, remarkable things, and then they just have to go home to their wives and have dinner and read their kids a bedtime story and act as if nothing incredible just happened, when it is happening every single day in laboratories all over the world. Okay? We just have to understand how to utilize it. So when someone tells you, or when you're reading in a law of attraction book, you must vibrate at the frequency of that which it is that you're trying to attract. It works just like this little glass experiment that I just showed you. You must form a vibrational connection, meaning an emotional connection, to the thing that it is that you're trying to attract in your life. So how do you do that? Once you plant that seed, and that's the thinking part, remember, and we're going to talk about this a little more, but before you plant the seed, you are fertilizing the soil of your mind. That part is all about the thinking process. It's all about visualizing that book once it's completed, thinking about what the book is going to sound like, what voice it's going to be written in, what is it going to say, what is the plot line going to be, or what message is it going to be, what is the book cover going to look like when it's done. Those are all the thinking processes. And once you get to a certain point, you will get to that point to where you're going, man, I'm going to write this book. It's not something that can be forced. The planting of the seed can't be forced. You can't say, oh, I'm going to make $1 million, and you're trying to force the seed in the ground. That part of the journey, when you get to that point where you're going, oh man, I am going to make this happen. I am going to start this business. It's going to work. I know it is. I can make it happen. That emotion that I'm just showing you through that illustration that I just did is not something that you can force. It's something that happens naturally once the fertile furrow, there I am again. The fertile soil of your mind is at a certain point. Then the planting of the seed is just the natural next stage in that. Once the seed is planted, then you have to start utilizing the universal attribute of vibration. And I'm going to teach you how to do that a lot more in depth than I did now once we get into the meditation portion of this program. See? So the reason that I really have to write a book on this subject is because I'm trying to force all these different things in different 15-minute videos, because I know that the attention span of most people is 15 minutes, which is, that's very unfortunate. But once we get to the point of where we're really studying the 4 life sciences, what are the 4 life sciences? the universal attribute of attraction, or the universal attribute of vibration, quantum mechanics or quantum physics, neuro-linguistic programming or neuro-associative conditioning or neuro-linguistic conditioning, however you want to think of it, and meditation, right? Meditation is very important because during the meditation process, if you really focus on certain things, that's when you start vibrating to the same frequency of the things that it is that you're wanting to attract. And it's also how to get some of the negative stuff out of your system that is preventing you from doing those vibrations. So I know that this was in a nutshell. All I want you to take out of this video is start vibrating positive vibrations. And you will start attracting the things into your life that are sympathetically vibrating at that frequency. It really is that simple. You know, the reason that I can talk about this is look, when I was 52 years old, I couldn't even play a proper double stroke roll on a snare drum. And here I am at 55 years old. I am on 3 nationally touring shows and 1 world tour. When I used to work for a living, I walked in my boss's office and I said, I can't work here anymore unless I have another $25,000 a year. And he wrote that check without hesitation. I used the law of attraction or the universal attribute of vibration in order to get that thing. Every relationship that I had in my life has ended in some kind of, heartache or whatever. And now I have the greatest relationship that I could ever dream of having in my life. And so the reason that I feel qualified to talk about these things is because I've actually used the law of attraction or the universal attribute of vibration in order to manifest the things in my life. And once you manifest one thing and you understand what it feels like, then you'll start manifesting things that are bigger because you go, oh, I get it. I understand how this works. I'm beginning to understand how the universe responds to my emotional vibrations. Please allow me to interrupt this previously recorded video to give you just a little bit of a tidbit on clarifying something. The way that we vibrate at the same frequency of that which it is that we are trying to acquire, the way that we do that is you have to imagine yourself already having the thing that you wish to have. Okay? And trying to figure out what it would feel like when you already have it, so that you're generating the emotions. Look at it this way. If you were to win a lottery, how would you feel? If you were to win $1 million, how would you feel? Well, go ahead and feel that way now. And then you're vibrating at the frequency of in other words, there's a reason why all of the experts in this field will tell you that you can't just say, if you're talking about money, for example, you can't just say, well, I want a bunch of money. You have to say, by June 13th, I will have $530,000 in the bank. It has to be very specific, because only when it is specific can you feel the feelings of what it will feel like when you have that much money on that specific date. You're actually reaching out through the universe to touch it, to actually, from a quantum physical standpoint, to actually resonate with it, just like the glass resonates. You're vibrating at that same frequency. I hope that clears that up a little bit. As we get further along in the program, once you're able to do this on something that's very small, that's not very, very big, you see what the process feels like, and this is how it works. Then you'll be able to reach out and do this with bigger things. I hope that clears that up just a little bit. So now let us return to our previously recorded broadcast. Okay? Think about this, meditate on this, and the next video, which is going to be out on Wednesday, I'm actually going to talk about what you're going to be doing prior to planting the seed, which is really about fertilizing the fertile soil of the mind, or fertilizing the soil of the mind. And a lot of this is about trying to kind of figure out what it is that you want to do, because some people really don't know. And we're going to do that next. But for now, think about this. Please subscribe to this channel. I don't charge anything for these lessons. I'm not putting these up on some per play, click per play thing. All I'm asking you to do is to subscribe to this channel so that I can touch more people with the messages that I'm going to be sending forth. Hopefully that's going to be a really great thing for you and for this community that I'm trying to form. Please have a great day. And remember, don't die with your song still in you.
Don't you die with your song still